gonna say your future looks so dang bright if you only shake it, little sister, and move with the movement of light. We're gonna operate with movement. We're gonna activate with sound and find our inner strength and the heart space and the love and the soul, the self-love that makes the power of a feminine come. We gotta believe in ourselves or we'll end up in hell. We gotta believe in ourselves or we'll end up in hell. Welcome to Serpentbird Activation with AP Ray, Amanda Ray Preston at BeeGood Gardens. So Amanda Ray Preston here, my guest, is a cross-pollinating visionary priestess and owner of an apiary that's host to 3 hives with a newly added Flow brand super. Do you want to tell us about that?
Sure. So the Flow brand super or hives, they were developed and released last year, and they started shipping this past April. And we were able to obtain one, and we specifically obtained a super to help our apiary manage and hopefully prevent swarms.
Awesome. So let's do a little toast with our special nutritious drink with bee pollen,
Cheers.
orange juice, and kombucha mixed together. So cheers everyone to the apiary and BeeGood Gardens. Amanda is also the founder of Columbus's first seed library. So where we're sitting on this property, there is a library
Of seeds.
of seeds, yes. She's also an auxiliary member of my group, the Serpentbird 7, which makes medicine wheels around Columbus and around the planet for activation and healing. She has a degree in Spanish linguistics. And so I want to know about BeeGood Gardens and about your stewardship of the honeybees.
Sure. So BeeGood Gardens aims to sow the seeds of sustainability through gardens of beauty, medicine, food for people and pollinators, and communion with nature. So what that means is that we practice sustainability, but we also want to see it grow in our communities. So we provide educational workshops in self-sufficiency and sustainability topics. In terms of our honeybee stewardship, BeeGood Gardens is designed to be a place for all pollinators, including honeybees. So we also plant flowers that other pollinators need a habitat for.
All right. And so I also made a note that you keep the honeybees because Ohio has seen a drastic decrease in colonies over the past 10 years.
Definitely, we want to be a part of the rebound of, we want to see the number of colonies in Ohio increase, and hopefully through our educational efforts, more people will be inspired to be beekeepers or support beekeepers.
All right. So tell me how you were influenced in your youth to be a nature freak.
Sure. So I was born and raised in Portsmouth, Ohio, which is a post-industrial Appalachian city. Certainly, there are plenty of opportunities in a rural environment to be in communion with your nature. However, I spent a lot of my childhood, in the creeks and in the rivers, in the forests, in the gardens of my family, and I was fortunate enough to be, raised by a family that taught me through practice what sustainability was about. And that didn't come from a dictionary. It came through practicing growing your own food, preserving your own food, living simply, and exchanging services with your community.
What kind of foods did you guys grow in your...
Pretty common things, like what my paternal grandparents, they always had tomatoes and green beans, etc., staples that a lot of people would can. For example, my maternal grandmother, she loved to make grape jellies, and apple butter, and she had a neighbor with a tree, and she would just harvest the apples for her elderly neighbor and make this apple butter and share it with the community.
So that's how you cultivated that, or like absorbed that culture, was to, feel the neighborly love and helping out.
Yeah, seeing the examples.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit more about that, like when you were getting close to nature and spending time outside, like where were you roaming around to kind of like get close in action with nature?
In my family's gardens, in my backyard, my mother, from an early age, took to gardening as one of her great pleasures and healing therapies. Playing in my grandparents' gardens. I spent, my summers in Shawnee State Forest and, walking in the creeks and looking at the rocks and seeing the reptiles and the butterflies.
Awesome. So how did you make the choice to start BeeGood Gardens?
I made the choice to start BeeGood Gardens. First, I just want to say that when I started BeeGood Gardens, I was working for a multinational corporation, and my strong sense of integrity and responsibility led me to prioritize the needs of my employer over the needs that I had for my own self-care. And struggling with depression, I unfortunately had to learn that there's nothing more important than a good night's rest or good nutrition or good friends, and that includes our friends in our natural environment. So I wanted to start BeeGood Gardens not only for myself but for other people. But along the way, it was a healing. It provided healing opportunities for me.
Okay. So how has founding BeeGood Gardens helped you express your feminine power and perhaps increase it?
Definitely. So, when I wanted to start BeeGood Gardens, and, I was doing it really to take care of myself, learning that lesson about self-care, and in that process, I really had to embrace my feminine power as an act of survival, because I knew that, corporate America wasn't ready for my feminine power, but BeeGood Gardens was.
Let's drink.
And yes, we'll drink to that. That's delicious. So I had to what goes along with that is that I had to embrace that feminine aspect of vulnerability and the power that just comes with being out there, being authentic, and showing unconditional love and showing unconditional love to myself. So that was very important. And also another aspect about embracing my feminine power came with just the lessons that Mother Nature offers us if we take the time to listen. And now I get to observe and participate in the fertile nature or abundance that the earth gives us, and that's very rewarding and affirming for feminine power. And I suppose in a very literal sense, BeeGood Gardens has helped me to embrace my feminine power just in realizing what I accomplished, and the physical strength, obviously, that I gained from gardening or lifting 40-pound boxes of honey.
So I'm going to share with everyone what the bee totem, according to Native American or shamanized practices, the bee totem is a symbol of fertility and the honey of life, accomplishing the impossible. Bees are the symbol of fertility and sexuality. The honeycomb, a hexagon, is a symbol of the heart and represents the sweetness of life found within our own heart. And I just want to pause there by saying today is a full moon, so we're matching our energies today, and the song and the meaning of my song, Love Yourself, Love Your Own Heart First, with the power of our full moon today at the gardens. The honeybee is also the symbol of the sun and all its energies. The bee reminds us to extract the honey of life and make our lives fertile and productive while the sun still shines. Now, no matter how great the dream is, there is the promise of fulfillment if we pursue our dreams.
Oh.
Yeah. So together, Amanda has been a patron for me on my travels, and this property is really doing the whole community and all of Ohio and beyond a service for education. So I want to invite the community to check out BeeGood Gardens on Facebook and stay in communications, because there's always activities and events here, educational, outdoor, sometimes spiritual events. We had our women's medicine wheel here on a new moon a couple months ago, and we think we had 15 or 20 women here. So in the backyard there's actually a permanent installation dedicated only for spiritual circle and harmony. So she's really activating here on many levels.
Thank you.
Did you ever see yourself living like this? And is it a dream of yours to co-create the new time that I speak of on Serpentbird activation, where we help others become more sustainably and solutionary minded?
That's a great question. I at least hope to see myself living like this, and certainly it was a dream of mine. I grew up in poverty, but being steeped in that Depression era tradition, I knew that I had the values and the skills to survive and find a way to live in communion with nature. And in many ways, I really hope to bring about the old time, or bring back the old time, the time that our highest self has always known, and the time that some institutions don't want us to remember.
Awesome. I know there was another piece to that I wanted to bring up. Did you mean also meaning government?
Government as that could be one example, yes, very much so.
Yeah. Okay. Do you remember there were some other topics we wanted to share?
I think most of it was covered,
Okay.
but if you have some follow-up questions, we could go over those.
Yeah, I mean, as we were talking, I had remembered little pieces that we left out, and then they escaped me again. So, I think you should mention some of the groups that you work with around Ohio, because, there's been times when I've been away, been in Arizona and elsewhere, and we've had a lot of phone calls, keeping in touch and she's always mentioning, oh, I went to Blue Rock Station, or I went here, went there, and Blue Rock Station's an Earthship, so that piqued my interest because I love Earthships. And you know, she's always trying to bring someone else into her circle and just really, you know, picking up the phone, volunteering. And so if you want to just like do a shout out to some of our neighbor friends.
Well, we should start with Blue Rock Station. I give so many things for Annie Warmke, and she's been very supportive and brought me into an organization that she helped to start along with many other fabulous women called Women Grow Ohio, which aims to unite women farmers, and that encompasses homesteaders, people who produce food and medicine for the community, as well as those people who are just gardeners. Some other organizations, for example, would be Columbus Audubon. I've been teaching as a volunteer beekeeping and about honeybees to their children in their Eco Weekend youth program for 5 years now. So that has been a delight to participate in. And of course, becoming a beekeeper really opened my eyes to all things in the air, and it's become such an inspiration. Of course, they're all about birds. So when I go down there, I always get to, you know, enjoy the sights and the sounds of the spring season. Other organizations, I'm doing some workshops coming up at Burnt Toast Farms in Marysville.
Cool.
And that's going to be in August and September. So check out Burnt Toast Farms and see if you're interested in the upcoming beekeeping workshops.
I'm really glad that you mentioned birds again, because you know that's my favorite tribe. So, and yeah, I'll be with Amanda, and she's constantly cluing me into other plant medicines and tonics. And you know, when we went to the Audubon together, you know, she was like, couldn't stop looking at all of the scientific information, names of all the birds. So I'm just really happy that you made it on the Serpentbird activation show, because we need some more ladies to join us on Serpentbird all over the world, joining in, sharing our videos, and we are searching for you to come on board and join the sister powerful planetary activation movement. So thank you very much.
That was great.